Want to learn how to make this tea? Then stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates on my channel. First, you're going to need a t-shirt. I just have this Gildan t-shirt. It's just a simple one you can get at Michael's. I like the V-neck ones the best. And unlike myself, you're going to pick one green color for your cactus part. Just one. Or many greens, it's up to you. We're going to need an iPad or a tablet of your choice. I have this really cool two-sided standing hoop here. You can use either side, it doesn't matter. I just use this for my camera to keep it steady. You're going to need a needle. Eventually, you're going to need a pair of pliers. And this pen right here, it is disappearing ink. It has two different colors to show up on two different types of fabric. It washes out of the fabric pretty easily. You're going to need a pair of scissors and some sheets of fleece. White is preferable if you're going to use a white t-shirt. Okay, let's do this thing. First, we're going to start with our tablet. Feel free to skip this part. If you can freehand draw a cactus on your t-shirt, feel free to just skip this part. But I need it to keep it uniform, so I'm going to use my iPad to do this. So I drew out this cactus here using a program called Procreate. I'll link it in the description box below. And once I got done with that, I hit the wrong button, and then I had to open it back up again. So once you get done with that, you are going to export it out from that program, hitting that wrench button there, and then you're going to export it as a JPEG and just save it on your iPad somewhere. Next, I'm going to use my app called Lightbox Trace. Once we have that open, we're going to click on that little pictures icon, and then we're going to find our cactus that we drew out. Next, I'm going to play around with this to see what size I want to have all the cactus to be. So I'm just going to play around with this for a little bit. At this point, I decided to just turn off the light so I can see it a little bit better, and play around with it that way too. Once you figure out what size you want, you're gonna hit this little button that has a little lock on it. So when you click that, nothing can be moved on the screen. So it literally locks the screen so that you can't mess up the size and mess up your whole project. So once you have that locked in, you're gonna start drawing all over the t-shirt. And this is what your t-shirt should look like. Feel free to leave it that way if you want to, but as soon as you wash it, they all go away. Now with this app, since it's so locked up, you can't do anything on the screen. You have to hard close the app. And once you hard close it, it's done. You can open up again and the project will be gone. So that's the only way to close it. So that's how you know it works. All right, so let's shed some light on the situation. And once our eyes adjust, let's get started. Yeah, this t-shirt is going to turn out very nice. Now we're gonna grab our double hoop here and put our t-shirt on. I took those sheets of felt and I cut them into pieces that are big enough to fit behind each one of these cactuses. And what these sheets do is they reinforce the fabric of the t-shirt, because the t-shirt is so stretchy that once you start stitching these stitches in there, it's going to stretch out in different spots and it's just not going to look uniform. It's going to look really bumpy and yucky looking. So these felt sheets are very, very important to have. And by the way, you don't need to have this t-shirt very tight on the hoop, just enough to keep it straight and not have any wrinkles in it. Once you have that done, you're gonna grab your needle and you're gonna grab your thread. Embroidery thread comes in 6 strands, and I thought that would be a little too thick for this t-shirt, so I decided to split it into 3s. So basically I just split it in half, make sure there was 3 on each side there. So I split that and I'm going to do 3 strands of green for each cactus. Now we're going to thread that into our needle. Now holding our piece of fleece to the back of the cactus, we're going to start outlining this cactus. I'm using a back stitch to do this. Next, I'm going to use a satin stitch to go across the cactus and fill in the blanks in the middle. Next, it would have been ideal of me to just use the back stitch outline for the pot also, but I ended up just starting with a satin stitch and then outlining it later with a back stitch. But from this point forward, I ended up outlining everything first and then filling in with a satin stitch. And again, I'm using 3 strands of embroidery thread. Okay, so we did our first cactus. Now let's look at the progression of the whole tee. Now, as you can see, you don't have to glue anything to the back of the t-shirt to keep the fleece on. You're just going to be stitching it on. And so instead of having these squares just hanging off like that, I like to cut around the edges as close as possible. But please be careful not to cut your t-shirt. If you do, you could just take some white thread to close up the hole that you made. But other than that, how about we just don't cut our t-shirt? So just be careful at this point. And this is what all of them should look like. It will keep it from showing through the front of the t-shirt. Once you wash your t-shirt, all the blue lines will wash away because they're water soluble. So all you'll have left is your embroidered cactus. Enjoy! I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video.